Cake versus cognition. In life, we often make resolutions. We decide to exercise. We decide to eat better. We decide to stop eating in front of our computers. And we decide to stop spending so much time in social network and start being more productive. Only what? Often these well-intended resolutions end up as just intended. In fact, there's some statistics suggesting that 88% of these resolutions end up in failure. So, what can we say about this, and why is this happening so frequently? Baba and Alexander decided to study this, and they did it by doing something called cognitive load. They took undergraduates at Stanford and asked some of them to remember a 7-digit number. That's what's called the high cognitive load. And they asked some of them to remember a 2-digit number. That's what's called a low cognitive load. And while those students were asked to remember the 7-digit number or the second digit number, they got a second task. Basically what happened is that they were put into one room and asked to remember the 7-digit or 2-digit number. Then they were asked to walk down a hallway, and at the end of the hallway, they were told they would have to remember their number, and once they remembered that number, either a 2-digit number or a 7-digit number, they would get a prize. But on the way, in the hallway, they met another experimenter, unexpectedly. And that experimenter offered them one of two treats. They could either get cake or fruit. And they were told that once they pick their treat, either cake or fruit, they would get a note indicating what they were getting. And once they finished remembering their number, they could pick their treat as well. So they started in one room. They were asked to remember a 7-digit number or a 2-digit number. They walked down the hallway. They met a cart with some treats. They made a choice, and then they got to the end of the hallway to another room. They remembered their number, or tried to remember their number. They wrote it down, and then they got their prize and the treat. And here's the question. We had some people with high cognitive load and some people with low cognitive load. Did the increased cognitive load influence participants' choice of a snack? Did they choose any differently? And if so, did they choose more often the cake or the fruit plate?